Yeah, I played against them and admired what they've done from afar, so looking forward to being out there with them.
The NBL says a point was missed on the scoreboard in last night's Taipan's Wildcats game. The final score should have been 91-87, an increase of 1 point to the winning club Perth. But the original scoreline, 90-87, will stand. And Nick Kyrgios says he's a definite starter for next year's Australian Open. It will be his first major tennis tournament since the US Open in 2022. Now checking FIVEAA traffic.
Afternoon, we're accident and breakdown free at the moment, which is good news, although there is some debris to watch out for on the north-south motorway near the Port River Expressway, affecting outbound traffic in Dry Creek there. And in Myland, still got some loose road plates. South Road near Tarragon Street, speeds are at 40 in both directions. Cameras, Aldridge Avenue, Plimpton Park, Raglan Avenue, Edwardstown and Sturt Road in Brighton. The time is now at Mercedes-Benz. Enjoy savings across the range, including Mercedes AMG and all-electric models. Visit your nearest retailer or shop online today. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on FIVEAA.
Now the FIVEAA forecast. Showers with a possible storm this afternoon. Showers tomorrow 20. Saturday sunny 22. Sunday cloud clearing 25. Right now it's 27 degrees. Now let's check what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Kate Collins. Tonight, our camera is there as former opposition leader David Spears is spotted for the first time since being charged with drug offences. We reveal his next move. A man accused of being a key player in SA's tobacco war fronts court. The dementia drug rejected for use in Australia, and the 10 simple steps to save 10k. 9 News, your news, nightly at 6 on 9 and 9 now.
Adelaide Hills Nissan's massive demo and stock clearance sale is on now. We simply won't be beaten on price. Get a quote elsewhere, but don't sign anything until you compare our prices. Over 100 cars at never-to-be-repeated prices, but hurry, they won't last long. Adelaide Hills Nissan is just a short trip up the freeway in beautiful Bridgewater. Call, visit or go to adelaidehillsnissan.com.au and save thousands on our demo and in-stock Nissans. Rush into Adelaide Hills Nissan in Bridgewater before they're all gone.
Unique, loyal, fun-loving. That's what we look for in our pals. When you're next spending time with your best friends, don't forget some of the best pals you can have. Parafield Airport Liquor Store has your everyday favourites right through to those hard-to-find products. That's what great pals do. Sam and Jamie from Parafield Airport Liquor Store know every drop on the shelf, so you can always rely on their advice. Parafield Airport Liquor Store. Pals. Next to Roulette's Tavern, Kings Road, Parafield.
You can now see Top Gear Australia, 7:30 tonight on Channel 10.
My car's on fire.
Bo Ryan, Jonathan LaPaglia and Blair Jocelyn are taking you for a wild ride. Oh, yeah. Top Gear Australia, followed by Gogglebox tonight on 10.
Find everything you need to trick or treat at Coles. Like half price on Cadbury Share Packs, 120 to 180 grams, now just $3. Get great value, hands down, for Halloween at Coles. Offer ends 5 November.
Yep. Nah, your RAA card is completely stuck in your wallet.
Yeah, it's been a while since I got my RAA card out.
Really? You never go out to the movies? You don't like free upgrades at restaurants? You go out of your way to pay more for fuel? RAA Rewards, that's it. Get amongst it, mate.
Save at hundreds of checkouts across SA with RAA member deals and discounts. It's better to be a member with RAA Rewards. T's and C's and exclusions apply. Available to current RAA members. See RAA website for full T's and C's and member offers.
Experience the vibrant cultures and breathtaking landscapes of Japan with Imagine Holidays and Phil Hoffman Travel with a 19-night luxury Japan and cherry blossom discovery package from $6,299 per person, including flights. Cruise in style for 14 nights aboard MS Westerdam, then unwind with a 3-night hotel stay in Tokyo with fully escorted tours and return flights from Adelaide, all included. Visit Phil Hoffman Travel, pht.com.au.
Phantom Screens are the only manufacturer that make outdoor blinds up to 12 metres long. More than enough for an outdoor entertainment kitchen, a petting zoo, most of a bowling alley, and a historically accurate Viking longbow. Since 1995, Phantom Screens have been improving homes with top-quality, powder-coated, aluminium-framed, retractable screens. Whatever space you have, there's a Phantom Screen for you at phantomscreens.com.au.
The FIVEAA Sports Show, Stephen Rowe and Tim Jennifer. What's worse, an AFL player overdosing in a nightclub, admitted to hospital, then played the next week, no sanction, or Toby Green at a private function playing dress-ups with his mates and not saying that's out of line.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's where it gets a little...
What's worse for the look of the game?
The 5AA Sports Show.
It's behind closed doors. I don't think they hurt anybody.
Weekdays from 4 p.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide. The news and issues that matter to South Australia. Always Adelaide. This is 5AA.
Everyday items locked in at low prices for longer. There's more ways than ever to save at Foodland.
5AA Afternoons with Stacey Lee.
At 9 minutes past 3 here on 5AA. Good afternoon to you. We are now live on the Foodland Supermarkets Facebook and YouTube live stream. Don't forget, I still have tickets to give away this afternoon. A family pass to Wallace Cinemas and a double pass to Chihuly at the Botanic Gardens. So stay listening for your chance to win. The Wallace Cinemas pass is going to go to the best caller. So join the conversation. 8223 0000 is the number to call because it's time to bust some costs.
Helping you save a few dollars. Who you gonna call? Cost Busters.
Mandy Hall joins me in the studio from End Food Waste Australia. Hi, Mandy.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm really good. Really good.
Good. You've just been so busy since the campaign launch.
Super busy, but it's been received so well.
Good.
We're thrilled. We're thrilled to see all the interaction from the community, and there's even some recipe swapping. You know,
good.
It's amazing. People are right into it, and so that's fabulous.
Good. And we want to see a lot of that this afternoon. Swap some recipes with us, 8223 0000, because we're talking about the change of seasons. Obviously, we're heading from winter into spring, into summer now, and that means we often change the way we eat, Mandy, but we want to try and find a way to do it in an economical way. You know, this is about saving a few dollars, eating in season, but also, you know, we're all watching our budgets at the moment. So I wanted to ask you, barbecues go hand in hand with summer. I want to ask about cuts of meat. And if you have any suggestions yourself, you know the number, 8223 0000. What are your spring, summer staples? What's on your recipe list at home? What sort of cuts of meat can we get, Mandy, or what sort of types of meat that maybe you wouldn't necessarily think, that's great on the barbecue, or that would be good for summer, but they might be a cheaper cut, a cheaper version, and would be great?
Yeah, I think it's hard with cuts of meat because some of that fear is not knowing what to do with it, right? So, you know, even things like silverside, if you say that to anybody, they'll straight away go, oh, that's for corned beef. But you can slice that really finely, thinly, and put that on a barbecue, you know, salt, pepper, olive oil, what have you. And if you think about cuts of meat and you think about the body of the animal that it comes from, so the more work that part of the body does, the more tendons and muscle are in that cut of meat, therefore the slower the cook has to be. So if you just kind of think about that, because you can still do a slow cook in summer. There's nothing from stopping you from doing that. But sometimes it's people not knowing. But things like skirt steak and flank steak, you know, that you'll see quite often people in pubs, they used to pound it down and put it into schnitzels, and, you know, it makes still, you can throw that on the barbecue really quickly. But think about it, there's nothing much to break down in those pieces. They're pretty lean, and so there's no fat that keeps it tender, so it just means super quick, right? Yeah. Barbecue 2 minutes, if that. Sometimes if your barbecue's really hot, it can be a minute each side, hence minute steak. And the thing that makes it flavoursome are things like the olive oil and a bit of garlic and some herbs and spices. Everybody has stuff in their pantry that's probably been there for 5-10 years. Do you know what? It actually doesn't matter. It will still be fine. If it has no smell, it's unlikely to have any flavour. But if you can open up some cumin, for example, it doesn't matter how old it is, it's not going to hurt you. If you can get a bit of smell out, put that in with some salt, some pepper, bit of olive oil, bit of garlic powder if you don't have fresh garlic. Mix it all together. Brush that on the minute steak, 1 minute each, like boom. You're done. And that's a really cheap cut of meat. Things like the much cheaper lamb cutlets, like the 4/4 chops and things like that. Honestly, in yogurt, whether it's 30 minutes or overnight, in some yogurt with some salt. If you've got some onion, chop up some onion. If you've got some happen to have some tandoori paste around, throw some of that in, or again some herbs and spices, mix it all up.
Paste or
Tomato paste. Tomato paste can be difficult in that it's best cooked down. So you really need to cook tomato paste down to get rid of some of that really sour, acidic kind of flavour. It won't hurt. You can give it some flavour. But even if you had some old pesto or something hanging around, whip that through the yogurt. Like if you didn't want to eat it, if it was a teaspoon or 2 teaspoons, put that through the yogurt, put the lamb chop in there, marinate it for as long as you can, and then put that on the barbecue or cook that in the oven, and it will completely tenderize. So the acid in the yogurt tenderizes those lamb chops that can be a little bit harder, and the flavour is incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Oh, see, I've used yogurt to marinate chicken before, you know, the classic Greek yogurt, garlic, lemon, fresh lemon juice, and you let it sort of sit there and marinate and then put that on the barbecue. It's so good. I skewer it and do that, but I've never thought about using it on a red meat.
Yeah, beautiful, particularly lamb.
Yeah.
Right? Particularly those chops that you quite often see on special, those 4/4 chops, perfect for that. Absolutely perfect.
What about like a lamb steak? Because I think they're often a bit...
The backstrap. Yeah. So the challenge with those is there's not often a lot of fat or anything to help break it down. It will still be great. I'd be more likely to make some kind of marinade with some yogurt, whatever you've got left, you know, some marinade, some dip, whatever you've got, some oil, and then brush that as you're cooking it. That's the way in which I'd use it with a lean cut.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. 8223 0000 is the number to call, and Vicky is in Somerton Park. Hi, Vicky.
Oh, hi. Look, I've got a good recipe for corn silverside.
Oh, yeah.
Now, it may cost you a little bit to boil it up, but what you do is, if you're living alone with that, you get the size according to how much you want. And something, you know, it could take maybe an hour to boil. But anyway, you put brown sugar, you put balsam vinegar or brown vinegar, you put curry powder, you can put black pepper, you can put mint, you can put parsley, you can put anything you want in it, and then you boil it up, and it comes out really, really, you boil it up to it, you know, you put the fork in it and it falls off the fork.
Oh.
And then you boil it up, and then you can have it for days afterwards in sandwiches and, you can have it for days in sandwiches and anything else, you know, cold meat, salads, sandwiches, and, you know, you get the right amount and you live alone, but it does last in the fridge for a long time.
Yeah, that's
really
a great
does.
idea, Vicky. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful.
Oh, I love that idea. I like doing that with certain meats as well. You know, if you have a bit extra, or I like to buy a bit extra. If it's just my husband and I, like a salmon, if we'll buy a salmon or something, we'll buy, instead of just buying the 2, might buy 4 and then use them as leftovers.
I know,
You can
the leftovers.
run it through a salad.
But that's silverside. You know, Vicky's quite right in that it lasts a really long time, but while it's also lasting, it's getting more and more flavoursome, right?
Oh, yes.
And, you know, never think of leftovers as something that you have to do, or you know, a chore, or times are tough and the only way in which I can, you know, think about them in true in that they are glorious.
Yeah.
Like, they are full of flavour and they are absolutely glorious. Not only are you saving time, stress, money, you're getting a really good flavoursome feed.
Yeah.
So we need to change the way we think, I think, around that.
Absolutely. All right, 8223 0000 is the number to call to share with us your more economical recipes. Maybe you've got a good cut of meat that is a bit cheaper to buy and you want to share it with us. We'd love to get your thoughts today.
Today I'm talking to Tracy, who is one of Arbor Vitae's many happy customers. Hi, Tracy.
Hello, Lee.
Tracy, when did you start taking Arbor Vitae and what for?
I'm a cake maker by trade and suffered with sore hands for years, which is a common issue for my fellow bakers. They know how debilitating it is. A friend suggested I tried Arbor Vitae, and I can't believe how well it's worked for me.
And what benefits have you noticed about Arbor Vitae?
It was after my second bottle that I noticed the difference. My pain has all but disappeared. It's like a magic potion. I'm able to work with no pain. No stretch of the truth. It's worked so well for me.
Well, it's wonderful how much of a positive impact Arbor Vitae's had on your life. Thank you for your time, Tracy. Arbor Vitae is an anti-inflammatory supplement and it's now on sale at Chemist Warehouse, Australia's cheapest chemist. So now you know where to go for a great price. Chemist Warehouse. For more information, visit arborvitae.com.au. And remember, always read the label and follow the directions for use.
If you're outgrowing your home, it could be time to select a granny flat. At Selector Homes, we've been building transportable granny flats for over 25 years. And now we can build them on a slab, which means your whole home and new granny flat are on the same level. No stairs and seamless living. Also, we can build to the perimeter of your block, saving you space. Fixed price, no hidden costs. Walk through the Haven Granny Flat at the Selector Homes Display Village, Port Wakefield Road, Burton.
Hey, comedy star Jason Alexander here. You can get almost anything on Uber Eats, like chook, snags, and chewy. Is this a joke?
Get almost anything on Uber Eats.
Specsavers do hearing aids. That's surprising. But here's the real surprise. Our prices on high-tech hearing aids are also surprisingly low. Visit us online and compare today. Specsavers for high-definition sound at low Specsavers prices.
Experience Sonos at Harvey Norman, your home of sound. Shop hot package deals in store and online now. Surround yourself with superior stereo with a smart speaker pack. The Sonos Era 100 make the perfect pair. Now $698, save $100. Or upgrade to the ultimate audio experience and save $300. The Sonos Arc Soundbar plus Sub Wireless Subwoofer package now $2,498. Be quick, offers are for a limited time. Harvey Norman, best brands, best range, best prices guaranteed. Conditions apply.
Hey, are the onions done?
Not long now.
For over 12,000 South Australians, the most important meal of the day is from Meals on Wheels.
How's the soup coming along?
Behind the meals and behind the wheels are our wonderful volunteers, like our cooks who make the delicious three-course meals for our customers.
Amanda, hello.
If you love cooking, we could do with you.
Smells delicious.
Become a volunteer today and help us keep the wheels turning.
See you tomorrow, Chris.
Visit mealsonwheelsa.org.au for details.
Everyday items locked in at low prices for longer. There's more ways than ever to save at Foodland.
5AA Afternoons with Stacey Lee.
On this beautiful Thursday afternoon, well, beautiful, it's quite cloudy and we're expecting a thunderstorm, so nice right now, but maybe not soon. We're in the middle of Costbusters with Mandy Hall from End Food Waste Australia, trying to save you $1 or $2 at the checkout, with this week talking about more economical cuts of meat. I don't like saying cheap cuts of meat, Mandy, because it gives it a bad sort of connotation if you say, yeah, the cheap meat.
No, it really is. You're so right. It really does. And, the whole beast, honestly, does. I know we say that over and over, but it has extraordinary things to offer. So I'm glad that you don't want to use that word, because there really is enormous flavour and offering in the whole of the animal.
And you know who has extraordinary things to offer as well? Our listeners.
They do. I love it.
8223 0000 is the number to call. Ken in Onkaparinga Hills is on the phone to share some ideas. Hello, Ken.
Good afternoon, ladies. How are you going?
Great, great.
That's the way. Hey, look, we recently purchased a butchered goat, right? Now, we've slow cooked a few of the roasts. I've worked that out, no worries. Got a lot of loin chops in the pack. I have tried to cook them on the barbecue, followed a few recipes. Chewy, tough, tasty, but very chewy. Have marinated them overnight for about 8 or 10 hours in the fridge. Still not quite right. Can you give me some ideas at all? Or some?
It's a great question.
Big question. I've got to be honest and say goat's not something I cook with often, and I wish I did, because it's something we should be eating in Australia. So good on you. That's amazing. I would suggest it probably, if it's tough when you've been cooking it for a while and you've marinated it, it would suggest to me that they're quite lean. So are they lean, these cuts?
Yeah, very lean, yeah.
Yeah, then what I would be doing is the quick cook. I think, that's one of the problems we run into with all sorts of meat, in that if it's super lean, what it needs is really hot pans and really rapid cook. Because otherwise what happens is all the fibres in the meat get tough and they tighten up rather than loosen up. So you want to get it out of a pan or off a hot heat before they tighten. And then if you do that really quickly, get it off the heat, leave it to to sit for a little minute, and so it rests, and those fibres will relax again, and then you will find that it's much more tender.
Okay. So you wouldn't sort of squirt like lemon juice or yogurt on it to marinate it as such before
not if it's super lean. No, not if it's super lean, because if you think about what happens with lemon juice, so that kind of acid, what it almost does is pre-cooks it, if that makes any sense. So it's going in there, and pre-cooks it. I mean, if you had some lemon and some olive oil, and if you wanted to use yogurt, you could do that. But let's say it was lemon juice and some olive oil and nice, really salty and pepper in there, mix it together and brush that on there while it's doing this quick turn in the pan. That's when you'll get those flavours through. And they won't interfere with the fibres of the meat. That's certainly what I would suggest.
Because all the chops are about 25 mil thick, so they're quite a solid sort of thickness of meat. So I just wonder if it'd be too rare if I didn't too quick cook.
Yeah, what you could do though is find a nice heavy surface to do it. Get the bottom of it. You don't have to have a mallet. Get the bottom of a saucepan. And if they're really thick like that, salt and pepper them. Then get the saucepan, and you can put some baking paper if you want to. You can always wash a saucepan, so it doesn't matter. And literally, I'm doing these actions, so if you're looking on Facebook, I'm going to look really weird. But you bang, basically you're banging that chop, and so that you're tenderising it, spreading it out, making it thinner. It becomes an even quicker cook.
Oh, beautiful.
And yeah, because if they're really thick, you might be cooking them for a little bit longer, being worried about how rare they might be. But if you thin them out super quick, you'll feel really confident, and you can still get all that flavour through.
Okie dokie, I'll follow that and give it a crack.
But good on you for eating goat, Ken. That's awesome.
Yeah, we thought we'd try it, so no worries. Good.
Thanks for the call.
Okay.
See you, Ken. Bye. Let's go to Gabrielle in Parafield Gardens. Hi, Gabrielle.
How you going, ladies? All right?
Good.
Hey.
Alice, you've got to remember one thing, too, about goats, right? It's no good to eat a 1-year-old goat. You've got to go at least under 9 months, 8 months, then it's a good goat.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I guess, though, as a consumer, sometimes, isn't it? It's really hard to know if you're like you
because you've got to eat old goat. It's very tough. It's worse than eating lamb mutton.
Yes.
So you've got to get under 9 months. Or if it goes a little bit older, you have to put it... What we do sometimes, we'll put it in the thing there and we'll put some wine and let it go soft overnight.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got to roast it. You can't, because it's like eating mutton. It's really not very nice. Young goat is better. 9 months old, 8 months old goat is the best. Don't have any troubles.
Excellent. Thanks for the call, Gabrielle. Appreciate it. That's Gabrielle in Parafield Gardens. What about this text from Ellie? She says a tasty, cheap cut of meat is called a round steak. I haven't heard of a round steak. Is that like a minute steak?
It's kind of like a minute steak, yes. Okay. Yeah, and so, again, quick cook, right? Tasty, quick cook. Don't worry about trying to... And that's a really good tip and a really good point that Ken made about those thick pieces. And what happens in that case is people get really worried about it being underdone. So while you're getting your confidence and your understanding, just really pound out those thicker pieces. Make them thinner. You will feel much more comfortable about the quick cook, and you'll gain more and more confidence around what does it take to get through that piece of meat, but you'll also find they're far more tender.
And it's good therapy too.
It absolutely is.
Chris Jarman was here the other week and he was making a steak sandwich and he brought what's the thing called?
The mallet.
The mallet.
Yeah.
He brought the mallet in with him and I was banging the steak. I thought, this is good. This makes me feel good.
It really does. But, it's and again, if you don't have a mallet, as I said, it doesn't matter. Use it, use a saucepan, a heavy base saucepan.
It's a great idea.
Whatever you've got.
I don't know if I should be admitting this.
Oh, go on.
Well, I don't have a rolling pin. I wish I was a baker. I wish I could bake. I'm just not very good at it. I keep trying, though. So instead of a rolling pin, I just used a bottle of wine.
Do you know, if you go into the villages in Sardinia, I'm sure they're using, sauce bottles and bottles of wine to roll out their pasta. I mean, it's cylindrical, right?
That's all I had. I was like, all right,
I see that.
I've got a lot of that. I'll just use that.
Fantastic.
What about this text from Mahi? Hi, girls. I use lamb 4-quarter chops and bake them in the oven with roast veggies, and they're so tender. I grew up eating goat. My mum would always cook the baby goat in a stew, slow cook it with veggies, and it was delicious. So there you go.
Yum.
That's a good idea for the goat as well.
Yeah, goat. It was interesting. The conversation then came up about mutton as well, and there's a Mark Best, who's a very world famous chef, an Australian who was born in South Australia. He made some pasties with me at Tasting Australia this year. His pasty recipe is like nothing I've ever tasted. It's the true old-fashioned pasty.
Oh.
It is out of control good, and he uses mutton. And I had to try and find mutton because nobody uses it anymore. But it's diced up thin. It was so tasty that it wasn't funny.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I might ask Mark if I can bring in his recipe one day.
Please.
So we can talk about it on air.
I'd
It's
love
the
to
best pasta
try.
you will ever eat.
Oh, that is great. Oh, I need to get an invite to that tasting. I'm going to come to that Tasting Australia event next year. There'll be
Beautiful.
another one. Sounds good. And Keith says goat curry as well.
Oh, goat curry.
Yum,
Yeah.
yum. I think I've had that at an Afghan restaurant, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Certainly Indian restaurants,
Yeah.
Afghan. Yeah, I mean, the goat. We have so many wild goats in Australia that they're at pest level.
Mm-hmm.
And a great way for a problem that is edible is to eat it.
Yes.
And particularly when people are struggling to find ways. But that's an extraordinary source of protein.
Well, I'm sorry, Mandy, but I've got a goat now.
I was waiting for it. There cannot not be a pun from
stupid
Stacey
pun.
Lee.
You're allowed to say it.
Oh, no. There we go. I'm sure the listeners were all on the edge of their seat waiting for that one, but well done.
Thank you for coming in. Thanks for entertaining me and always laughing at my stupid jokes. We love chatting. Thank you, Mandy.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon. That's Mandy Hall from End Food Waste Australia. It's 3:30. It's time for news headlines. And then after that, gin with a mission. One South Australian company has launched a new gin. And no, this isn't just a good excuse to try some gin. It's actually got a really good cause and thought behind it. So I'm excited to talk about that.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good afternoon, Mel Usher with the latest news headlines. The SA unemployment rate rose 0.4 to 4.3% in September. The tributes are continuing for Liam Payne after the former One Direction member died in Buenos Aires. The push to free Killer brothers Lyle and Eric Menendez from jail in the US is gaining momentum. And in sport, Australia's women's clash with South Africa in the T20 World Cup semi-final will be played tomorrow morning, our time. The 5AA forecast: showers with a possible storm this afternoon, showers tomorrow 20. Right now it's 27. We'll have more news at 4 and as it happens on 5AA.
Shane from Drummond Golf, you've taught us blokes a thing or two about the game.
It's been a pleasure to help you, Rowie.
And I'm your favourite student.
Hey, oi.
Surely I'm better than Timmy and Rennie.
Hey. I don't want to get into details.
Come on, it's me, isn't it?
It's me, isn't it?
Hey, mate, I'm right here in the room, and I'm right behind you. Come on, easy.
Oh, you're a good one, aren't you?
Come on, boys, let's just settle down. I've seen you all swing. But, fellas, in all seriousness, it's not who's the best. It's about the love of the game.
Drummond Golf. For the love of golf.
The Phil Hoffman Travel Expo is back this Sunday, October 20. It's the biggest and best travel event in Adelaide, hosted by Adelaide, with over 60 worldwide tour operators, cruise lines, airlines and travel experts. Experience the PHT difference with inspiring travel talks, early bird discounts, one-day only deals, booking bonuses including a glass of French champagne and incredible holiday prizes. The PHT Travel Expo, this Sunday, Adelaide Convention Centre. Entry is free. Register at pht.com.au.
When you think of single malt Scotch whisky, you might imagine Scotland's green hills, her fresh babbling brooks, and rows of oak barrels. But you can get the same feeling right here in Adelaide when you walk down the aisles at Powell's. Sam and Jamie from Parafield Airport Liquor Store know every drop on the shelf. They can guide you through Scotland's best whisky labels and the best from around the globe, all under one roof. Parafield Airport Liquor Store. Powell's, next to Roulette's Tavern, Kings Road, Parafield.
Wella, everybody's gonna buy Hoyt spices. Everyone's gonna save $1 or $2. Everybody's gonna buy Hoyt spices, yeah. Well, don't throw away those empty spice jars. Wash and dry and they'll go far. Fill the jar with your White Spice pack. There's no turning back.
Hoyt Spices, available in sachet packs from Coles, Woolworths and all good independent supermarkets.
Hoyt Spices, yeah.
We chose to use paint professionals because they were referred to us by a previous client who was very impressed with the work that they had done and recommended them highly to us.
Paint professionals turned the job around so quickly from the initial quotation straight through to completion.
Paint professionals provided us with a very professional service. We're extremely happy with the outcome of it.
Painting an entire house or just a room? Make it a great experience with Paint Professionals. Visit paintprofessionals.com.au.
Picture a car. No, not the one you're in. One that's stylish, inside and out. Powered by a hybrid engine designed to take you further.
Don't you know I'm in a band?
Ever driven a better car than yours? Now you can. The Tucson Hybrid by Hyundai. From $46,990 drive away. Visit your participating Hyundai dealer today. T's and C's at hyundai.com.au.
Always relevant. 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Everyday items locked in at low prices for longer. There's more ways than ever to save at Foodland.
5AA Afternoons with Stacey Lee.
At 26 minutes to 4 here on 5AA. Don't forget, I still have a double pass to Chihuly at the Botanic Gardens to give away this half hour. When I tell you to call, that's your chance. 8223 is the number to call. But right now, I'm very excited to invite Matt Dixon into the studio. He's the co-founder of Ambleside Distillers, and they've launched a new gin, but it's a, how do I describe it? An ethical gin, and it's got a very good cause behind it. Matt's in the studio with me now. Hi, Matt.
Hi, Stacey. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Really well, thank you.
We love supporting local here on 5AA, and of course, Ambleside is very local.
Yes, absolutely. Our distillery is built in our backyard, so we're very much Adelaide Hills locals, and we're big advocates for the state. We love South Australia.
I think if I had introduced you as a backyard gin distiller, though, it might have had a bit of a different connotation to it.
Oh, why not?
Backyard gin distiller.
Lots of great businesses have started in people's sheds and backyards and all that sort of stuff.
That's very true. So tell me about this new Wild Safari gin. I've got it up on the Foodland Supermarkets Facebook and YouTube live stream. It's a beautiful bottle. I want to talk about the label in just a moment. But firstly, why did you want to create this gin? Because you've got some of the proceeds as well going to animal research.
Yeah, animal conservation, both globally and locally. So this is actually the third unique gin that we've done in collaboration with Minato and Zoos SA. So yeah, up till now we've done a couple of limited release gins, but we kind of wanted to reimagine the gin, bring it into our core range and just make it a little bit more, I guess, widely available. So we've raised over $80,000 for animal conservation so far. So yeah, like I said, both locally, but also being donated to charities like the Sands Honorary Park Rangers. So they're the guys in South Africa or Africa just putting their lives on the line to try and stop animal poaching. So just trying to do our little bit, I guess, for a really good cause. And the guys at Minato were fantastic people to work with. So
it's so great to hear. $80,000 so far, did you say?
Yes.
And what made you want to have a focus on animal conservation? I mean, it's hard. We talk about so many great causes all of the time. Why is this a focus for you and the team at Ambleside?
Yeah, well, I mean, Minato's not far from us at Ambleside. And I think, I've got vivid memories of going there as a kid, and you're just blown away by all of the work they do. Well, I mean, you're blown away by all the fantastic animals they have up there. But when you sort of dig a little bit deeper and scratch the surface, the amount of work that they do for conservation, both for plant life and also animal conservation, it's super impressive. And that's just, infectious. You want to be around it. You want to try and help them. It's much like the food and beverage industry in South Australia as a whole. Like, I'm a huge advocate for how exceptional food and beverage is. And, you know, that's kind of a big reason why we started Ambleside in the first place, because we just wanted to be a part of that fantastic culture that we have here.
Well, I know. We're so lucky to have it, aren't we? Our food and drink is just... And we say it, but really mean it too. When you go into state, you realise how lucky we are to have what we have here, and the producers we have here.
Absolutely. I mean, the quality of the food and beverage that we have here in SA is enormous. And, it's great that the tourism department is doing a lot to try and promote that.
Yeah, absolutely. So 15% of the sale of every bottle will go to animal conservation. And tell me about the bottle, because this label is beautiful. It's sort of a landscape overlooking a safari. You've got some meerkats and giraffe and a lion there. He's just sitting there very proud. It's beautiful. Who designed it?
So Jerome, and he's one of the vets at Minato. And a sundowner is a really popular thing to do in South Africa. So a gin and tonic, when you're on safari. So we wanted to try and recreate that, and the Minato landscape is a beautiful one to try and recreate, and Jerome did a fantastic job producing that for us.
I would have definitely thought this was an artist, like a professional artist.
Well, I mean, he is pretty bloody good.
Yeah.
We rocked up to do a photo shoot, and, we said, can you just sort of mock up a little bit of a sketch or something for the photos? And he'd spent a couple of minutes sketching a meerkat, and this was like a professional piece of artwork. It was brilliant.
It looked like, is it Timon? Is Timon the meerkat and Pumbaa the Timon and Pumbaa? Which one's which? I always get confused.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think Timon's the little one and Pumbaa's the big one. Anyway, one of them.
Yeah.
Just knocked up a meerkat out of nowhere. Not like my little meerkat would be a stick figure.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm not even going to.
I could work on it for a week and it would still look terrible.
Absolutely. And so, all right, what does it taste like? Does it have a different taste to a regular gin?
Yeah, so, and, thankfully the guys at Minato, they grow a lot of native botanicals, so we have used some of their native botanicals in this particular gin, muntree, roasted wattle seed, Tanami apple. So, we've got this beautiful sort of, rich red apple front palate. We've got a little bit of lemon verbena in there out of our garden. So you've got this kind of nice lush red apple balanced by a little bit of citrus.
Yeah, nice. I see you've got a little bit over there.
Yeah, I was going to knock you up a little gin and tonic if you wanted one.
Go on, if you must.
Twist your arm.
Fine, if I have to.
Yeah, perfect.
And what would you use as a garnish? Because I'm a bit of a dehydrated fruit queen at my house. We used to have fruit trees at my old house, and when they're in season, and I just don't know what to do with them. So I dehydrated my orange, my lime, my lemon. Thank you. I've got everything dehydrated. So you've got an orange in here with this. Is that what you'd recommend?
We've got grapefruit in there.
Oh, grapefruit. Sorry.
We've got that kind of little bit of sweetness coming through from the red apple. But like I said, also that lemon verbena citrus. So the tartness from the grapefruit really brings out that sweetness from the apple.
Yeah.
Just beautifully balanced.
It's not too sweet, but I can definitely get that hint of apple sweetness, but it's not too much. When you drink a drink and you're like, oh, sickly sweet. It's not like that.
No. And we always like to add a little bit of spice or pepper or something to the gins that we've created. So we've got a little bit of cassia bark in there, so a little bit of sort of cinnamon spiced, baking spice finish.
Yeah, and so that Tanami apple, did you say that is what's grown at Minato?
Yeah, one of,
Yeah, cool. Oh, very cool. Well, that's so good to hear, Matt, and it's really good to see. Like I say, we love supporting local here, but good to see local supporting local. You've got one there too. Cheers.
Yeah, sorry, I was
Thank
halfway
you for coming.
through a sip.
Yeah, sorry. I know. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you for coming in. Thank
My
you
pleasure.
for letting us try and telling us about Wild Safari Gin. If there's someone listening thinking, yes, my two loves, Animal, Minato, Gin, where should they go?
Go to our website, amblesidedistillers.com, or come up and see us at the Cellar Door in Hahndorf.
Mm-hmm. And they know how to make a good gin up there. The cocktails. Once you start on your gin cocktails, you can't stop.
If you think mine's good, you should see the professionals do it, which is the team that we have at the Cellar Door. So.
Love it. All right, I'll have to come back and give you guys another visit. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you, Stacey.
Really appreciate it. 18 minutes to 4 here on 5AA. Taking your calls next. And don't forget the Chihuly tickets. I still have those to give away. Here's to the heroes, the healthcare heroes, those people that work tirelessly in aged or disabled care, allied health or the medical professionals. FIVEAA and Always Care are teaming up to reward these heroes with $1,000 cash. If you know someone committed to the care of others, nominate them today for Healthcare Heroes. Thanks to Always Care Services, the support you need to live happily and independently no matter what your situation. Go to the win page at fiveaa.com.au to nominate.
Over 50 and ready to dive into something amazing? This is for you. We're planning for your future with 2 new over 50s lifestyle resorts in Goolwa and Encounter Bay. With our vision for world-class facilities and endless activities, your next phase of life could deliver your best years yet with pools, gymnasiums, bowling greens and more. Visit our new display centre at 1 Banfield Road, Goolwa North, or check out lakesideresort.com.au or oceanviewresort.com.au.
To all those DIYers out there, All Equipment Hire is here for you. Even on a Sunday when the others are closed. You might be doing it yourself, but you're never doing it alone. We're your DIYB. That's DIY buddy. Doesn't matter if you're laying lawn, building a deck, pouring concrete or pulling it up. We've got all the gear and all the advice at All Equipment Hire. Open 7 days. allequipmenthire.com.au. Your DIY buddy.
Some things need an emergency department, but if you're umming and ahhing on what to do, it might be more of an emergency. If you're unwell and unsure what to do, call Health Direct on 1800 022 222 and a registered nurse will help you find the best care for you. A message from the Government of South Australia.
Meet for a cuppa at Coffeelosophy. Move your body at Hatha Yoga. Invest your wellness at Devar House. Repair your leathers at Ideal Shoe Repairs. Print your family photos at Hutt Street Photos. Stop for an aperitif at Bar Torino. Order lunch at Chianti. Spice up your senses at Ragi's. Grab a classic pub meal at Arab Steed Hotel. Sip your favourite at Hutt Street Cellars. Whatever your reason, Hutt Street is worth the visit. After all, it's your corner of the city. The best corner of the city.
Forget having mulch or compost dumped on your driveway. It's messy and it gets in the way. Instead, order cubic metre Hulker bags full of living earth, compost or mulch. Hulker bags are amazing. They can be delivered where most tip trucks can't get to, and it's Australian Standard certified. And because your compost or mulch comes in a large Hulker bag, it's easy to access with no mess. Google Hulker bag now and have yours delivered. Spelled Hulca. Hulker bag.
Experience Sonos at Harvey Norman, your home of sound. Shop hot package deals in store and online now. Surround yourself with superior stereo with a smart speaker pack. The Sonos Era 100 make the perfect pair. Now $698, save $100. Or upgrade to the ultimate audio experience and save $300. The Sonos Arc Soundbar Plus Sub Wireless Subwoofer Package, now $2,498. Be quick, offers are for a limited time. Harvey Norman, best brands, best range, best prices guaranteed. Conditions apply.
Everyday items locked in at low prices for longer. There's more ways than ever to save at Foodland.
5AA Afternoons with Stacey Lee.
On this Thursday afternoon in Adelaide, the thunderstorms are meant to be arriving soon. I'm just going to do a quick check of the radar because the Weather Bureau, when we were talking to David Murray earlier, said it was sort of heading our way and it was looking pretty nasty. Oh, look at that. A very big front heading over Port Lincoln. I think it's just past Port Lincoln heading this way. So, yes, if you've got the washing on the line, I would recommend getting it off quick smart because the rain is on the way. 8223 is the number to call. I've got a double pass to give away to Chihuly at the Botanic Gardens. Call now. 8223 It's a garden of awe-inspiring glass sculptures with Chihuly in the Botanic Gardens. It's on now and you can get your tickets from botanicgardens.sa.gov.au or you can get a double pass right here. Rowie and Timmy G are going to be on with you after 4. Hello, Timmy.
Holy Chalooey. Sounds excellent. Wow.
Yeah, cool,
I'll tell you what
isn't
I
it?
was happy with.
Matt from Ambleside coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good gin, isn't it?
They do a good job.
They do a good
this
job.
Wild Safari gin sounds right up my alley. There's no doubt about that. I like it. Yeah, it's fantastic stuff.
Yeah.
What have you been up to?
It's been a big day. We've had some big, serious discussions today.
Good.
Yeah, we were talking about the apportion bill in Parliament last night. It's
that's
World
right.
Menopause Day.
Is it? Ooh.
Yeah. Costbusters, how to save money on some food. So it's been a big afternoon.
Good.
How's your day?
Yeah, I was wondering why there's a day for everything.
There's a day for everything.
Once
isn't
upon
there?
a time, there was just days. You know,
Do you know yesterday was National
Monday
Banana Day?
No, I did
yes,
not.
We celebrated here.
I love bananas.
Yeah,
but
had a banana split.
It used to be Monday to Sunday. Now it's just every day has a day.
It's a bit much, isn't it?
Sometimes I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that sometimes can, unfortunately, maybe water down some of the important days, whatever they may be. But you know what I say? Just enjoy every day.
Enjoy every day.
Every day's a cracking day.
Every
Yeah.
day we're here is a good day.
Happy days. Well, as an old chap said to me once, Timmy, every day I'm looking down at the daisies instead of up at them, I'm happy. It's a great line,
There
isn't
you
it?
go. I like
It's a
that.
great line.
Who was
yeah.
that?
A fella I worked with years ago at Balfour's. I did 10 years at Balfour's.
Really?
Yes, I
I've
did.
never
10 of my
heard
best.
that. You've
10 of my
never
best.
told me about that.
Yeah, so 84 to 94. There you go. So great. That'll be scratched on the side of the building, I reckon.
Timmy never worked here.
Was here.
In case he hasn't told you.
Yeah. And let's not say work. Let's
Yeah,
just
okay.
say was
Was
here.
here.
Exactly right. We've got a big show coming up.
Yes, what do you have?
Yeah, we've got plenty of happening. Of course, it's Caroline Wilson night. She'll assess a few things here and there, and maybe I would no doubt she'll have some sort of intel on the GWS players' Wacky Wednesday saga. That seems to be circulating, but also the trade period ended. They now just take a little bit of settling, and then they get into drafting in November. So we sort of see how some of those trades then fold out, because you trade the player and you might get 2 picks. Now, it's who you get with those 2 picks that probably determines whether you've had a good, successful little trade period. So it's sort of part 1's finished. Looking forward to part 2, as they say. But we've also got Jake Fraser McGurk. He is a cricketer for South Australia who's in the Australian one-day international team. And, of course, Australia play Pakistan in the best of 3, one of them being in Adelaide on November 8, I think it was. So, he'll be joining us to tell us about our opportunity in that. Caroline Wilson, of course, and for soccer fans, and especially Adelaide United fans, we have the coach and the CEO coming in to have a half-hour discussion about where they're at, their pre-season. They've got a big fans day this Saturday, October 19, so it's going to be really good for any soccer fans there to get straight into it. So,
well, I'm looking forward to that.
There you go. And we will hear from the CEO of Norwood, the passing of an absolute legend of Norwood, Wally Miller, unfortunately at 88 years of age, passed away. So we'll just have a little chat about and reminisce about what has been a great man for the Norwood Football Club and for football in general.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, well, there you go.
Excellent.
Sounds like fun.
Thank you. Cheery bye
Looking
now.
forward to it. Rowie and Timmy G.
I'll just take this gin with me. If that's
Go
all
on.
right.
Go on, all yours. You may. Timmy G there on After 4 with Rowie. And Leonie is in Normanville. Hi, Leonie.
Hi, Stacey Lee. How are you going?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well, thanks. Very well.
Oh, I meant to say, I don't know. I was like, what would you like to say? No, I'm saying something to you. Congratulations. You've won the Chihuly tickets.
Thank you so much. It's right up my alley too. Botanic Gardens and glass blowing.
Yeah, beautiful. It's a beautiful display. I think you'll really enjoy it.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
Oh, good. Oh, no. Well, have fun.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate the call. Bye. That's Leonie in Normanville. She has won the Chihuly tickets. And today, the Wallace Cinemas Family Pass is going to go to... I'm going to give the Wallace Cinemas Family Pass to Vicky in Somerton Park. She rang up with a suggestion for a corned silverside recipe and it sounded delicious, Vicky. So congratulations to you. You've got a family pass to Wallace Cinemas, Mitcham, Mount Barker, the Piccadilly, Noarlunga. All sessions are at wallace.com.au. 8223 0000 is the number to call if you've got some thoughts on anything we've been talking about today, or you can send me a text 044808 1395. Still a couple of texts coming in on good, cheaper cuts of meat. Cheaper, I don't like using that, but more economical cuts of meat because it makes the meat sound like it's not any good. But anyway, there we go. A bit of other news around today. The Greens have announced their candidate for the by-election in the seat of Black, which we found out yesterday, yes, would be held on November 16, which is the Adelaide 500 weekend. It's also the day after we're expecting the first court appearance for David Speers, of course, the now former member for the seat of Black, former opposition leader here in South Australia. He will be in court on drug supply charges, which is the reason that the by-election is going ahead. The Labor Party has announced its candidate, the Liberal Party has announced its candidate, and today the Greens announced Marion councillor and Hallett Cove local Sarah Luscombe. She's been a Marion councillor since 22, and the Greens say she's been a Hallett Cove local for the past 15 years. This is a big thing at the moment, and I mean, it should always be a big thing, especially in the lower house when you're representing an electorate. This focus the political parties are putting on local. She was Hallett Cove local during a time on council. They're saying she worked in infrastructure. She's a clinical psychologist. She's worked in child protection, education. She's a mum. She's got a 12-year-old daughter who attends school locally. And they're really promoting the fact that she lives in the area and she is on the local council. So there you go. Sarah Luscombe standing for Black for the Greens. Now, it's been a big day of political news today. Earlier, you would have heard from Sarah Game. This was after the vote on the abortion bill last night, and there was a drama with the pairing situation. Michelle Lensink's pair reneged on the offer. Michelle Lensink's pair was meant to be someone in her own party, and then they pulled out. Sarah Game was then drawn into it, and it has received a lot of the criticism this morning from Michelle Lensink and others for not granting Michelle Lensink a pair. I did ask Sarah Game, One Nation MP, of course, about it earlier. Here's what she said.
So look, Stacey, I think what we're seeing is how easy it is when you're not in Parliament to not understand what actually is going on. I mean, every single person who was in Parliament last night would have been aware how deeply I personally felt for Michelle. I mean, we have differing opinions on this particular topic. We agree on lots of other topics, and I've always liked Michelle and got on very well with her. And I was actually greatly distressed by her situation of being unwell and with a child in an Uber, which is what I've understood. And so I certainly conveyed that to her. There was a couple of minutes where I was under the impression from the government whip that someone was required to pair. Now, if that's the case, obviously that's the requirement. But as soon as I established that that was not a requirement on a conscience vote, there was absolutely no way that I would be giving up my vote on something that I've publicly supported. And that's very important to my constituents. So I think for me it's been a bit of a shock to see Michelle interpret things that way and to interpret it as deliberate. And I can only put that down to, you know, the fact that when you're not in the chamber and the fact that when it's a very sensitive topic, those things can happen and emotions are heightened. But I think she's greatly misdirected here.
So there you go. I think a lot of the criticism that's been levelled at Sarah Game throughout this whole saga is unwarranted, to be honest, in my opinion. But there you go. 8223 0000 is the number to call. In fact, it's time for me to get out of here. It's gone quick today. Rowie and Timmy G are on with you after 4, and I will talk to you at 1:30 tomorrow. Thanks for all of your calls and texts today.
For a unique take on everything happening in SA, join Matthew Abraham each Thursday with David and Will.
Exceedingly odd it was that the Police Commissioner rang Premier Peter Malinauskas the day after David Speers was arrested and charged with 2 counts of